Hi, everybody. Welcome to Always Be Kind. Today we have two special guests. We have Mr. James Perlaki from the Genesee County Youth Corporation. We also have Miss Ria from our Michigan TALScout. James, go ahead and, give us a little bit of introduction about yourself.
My name is Jim, and I work, as has been mentioned, Genesee County Youth Corporation. We are a program that provides services to runaway youth, homeless youth, and youth at risk of running away or being homeless. And I've been doing this work for just over 40 years and absolutely love what I'm doing and serving the young people and helping them reconnect with families and get on a positive trajectory for their lives.
Oh, that's really amazing. Can't wait to get into that. And Ria, did you want to tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ria. I'm the president of the Michigan TAL branch right now, and I've been with the Touch of Life Foundation for about 6 months now, and I've really enjoyed all of the work we've done. And through our recent hygiene kit donation drive to our local homeless shelter in Flint, we got to know Mr. Perlaki and his team at the Genesee County Youth Corporation, and we really enjoyed our experience. It was a really eye-opening moment, and it was an amazing experience. I'm really thankful for Mr. Perlaki for joining us today.
Okay, awesome. Ria, did you want to start off with any questions you have for Mr. Perlaki?
Yeah, I just wanted to once again thank you so much, Mr. Perlaki, for joining us. I think it'd be great if you could just give us a more in-depth view of what the Genesee County Youth Corporation does and just any details you want to add about that.
Well, thanks. And I appreciate being here. What I didn't know in your introduction is you've only been involved in this foundation organization for 6 months, and I would have not guessed that. You seem to be a pro at what you do, helping the community. So
thank you.
Thank you for that. Genesee County Youth Corporation it's divided into 3 different programs. We have our street outreach program, our reach program, and our Traverse Place program. Street outreach program is designed to help young people who are either living on the streets, frequenting the streets, or vulnerably housed throughout Genesee County. We also serve Shiawassee County and Lapeer County, which are neighboring communities to the Flint area. And it's really designed to help connect young people who are disenfranchised, who have been mistreated, lack trust in systems, help them to get reconnected with positive role models in their lives, as well as services to help them end their homelessness and get back on their feet. And if they're minors, reconnect them with their families. Our REACH program is a 21-day shelter program for 8 youth, and it is meant to provide services in order to create family reunification. It really is there for the homeless and runaway population who are between the ages of 10 and 17, and working with both the young person and the family in order to provide services to minimize the trauma that was caused in the young person's life that led them to becoming a runaway or homeless youth, and reunifying them with their family, and then providing aftercare services, ongoing support counseling services for 90 days after shelter. In addition to that, we also provide 90 days of counseling services for young people who are in crisis, who are at risk of running away or becoming homeless. And we can help to prevent that from happening by providing individual and family therapy to keep the family intact. So that's our REACH program. And then our Traverse Place program has got multiple components. The first is a 10-bed facility that's designed for young people ages 17 through 21. And it's designed for young people who are literally homeless, who have no place to turn, who need to change the path of their life and go from being a homeless individual to being self-sufficient. It's a 18-month program, so it's a transitional living service different than REACH, which is an emergency shelter. Traverse Place is designed to help young people seek employment, complete their education, find stable and safe housing, and increase their life skills so that they can remain housed after leaving the program. We also provide graduated housing through the Traverse Place program, which is for young people who do not need a shelter environment, who don't need the 24-hour supervision of staff during that time that they're in transition from homelessness to self-sufficiency, and maintain a semi-independent lifestyle in an apartment within the community. We actually rent and own 3 homes, 2-bedroom homes in the community, and we are able to house young people in those facilities and provide case management services, support services, financial support to help them practice all those skills that they've learned so that at the end of the 18 months, they can move out on their own and become self-sufficient. A third component of our Traverse Place program is our rapid rehousing. And it's really designed to work with an older population of homeless youth, 18 to 25. And in this program, we're able to serve young people who are parents or pregnant and find themselves in a situation of being homeless. And we work with them to find an apartment, locate an apartment, sign a lease, and then we help provide financial support and case management services for up to a year while they get back on their feet so that they could take over that lease solely at the end of the year. So it's really exciting opportunities for young people in the entire sphere of 10 through 25. So we're really involved in a lot of people's lives.
That's amazing, Mr. Perlaki. I think what stood out to me most is that your corporation, you're not only caring for the needs of these youth while they're homeless, but also empowering them through family therapy and helping them develop all of these life skills. That is truly amazing. Do you have any, stories of your greatest successes or any touching stories of youth that you've encountered who have, just blossomed under all of the services that you offer?
Wow, there are so many. I'll share just a brief story of a family who came to our attention. This is about a year or so ago. It was a single dad with 3 kids, all under the age of 18. And he was in a rough situation. He had become unemployed. As a result of unemployment, he lost his housing. He couldn't maintain. He really wasn't necessarily from Genesee County or the Flint area, so he didn't have a lot of connections to people in the community. And he was living in his car with his 3 kids. During the time that he was doing this, he made sure that his kids continued to go to school. So he would take care of their needs as best he could, get them back and forth to school. And then it just got continuously harder for him to do this. And he really didn't want to go to a shelter with his kids. So he sought out help for his kids from the REACH program. So we met with him, we met with the kids, we talked over services that we offered, and they moved in. And they pretty much had nothing. They were really struggling. So we really helped them with a lot of their basic needs, food, clothing, shelter. Made sure that they had warm clothing, made sure they had a place to do laundry for the clothes that they did have, provided sack lunches for the dad because we're shelter for youth, even though we serve families. The dad couldn't move in with us and he didn't want to go to a shelter himself. So he stayed in his car and kept coming back and forth and taking care of his kids and taking them to school every day and getting counseling. And at the end of the 21 days, he was able to successfully find a job during that period of time. And we were able to assist him in finding financial support to get a down payment to put together some money to rent an apartment. And he was able to get back on his feet with his family. And it was really exciting to see them just make it happen in a short period of time, going from crisis to hope and building on that. So And that's one such success story that I'm recalling from the many hundreds of kids that we've seen over the years.
And how do these people in these situations usually reach out to you guys? How do you get your corporation kind of spread out throughout the county?
Well, we do a lot of recruiting through other social service agencies, and because we're an agency that's been around Flint and Genesee County for 44 years, we are very well known within the social services arena, within the law enforcement community, within the education community. We spend a lot of time through our street outreach team when there are now no young people out on the streets. Our street outreach team will go to law enforcement, to hospitals, to mental health facilities, to schools, to local merchants, to chambers of commerce, and pass out our literature and make sure that when they come across kids who need our help, they can make that referral to us. And then we have our website, we have our social media. We continue to do everything we possibly can to make sure that young people know we're here.
Yeah, that's great. So usually with encountering throughout your services, what do you feel are the needs that most of them have? Like, what do you think the community could do to help them?
Well, I think our largest need is probably in the population of the older young people who we serve through Traverse Place. Those young people who really have no home to go to. They are not able to return home. And they're basically starting life all over again. Many of them have come from pretty horrible situations, layers and layers of trauma from their years of growing up in the families that they've been in, haven't had all of the skill sets available to them to master the things they need to live on their own. But once they move in with us, it's allowing them first to find safety, to get comfortable, to learn to trust the staff, and to have an opportunity to finish school, to get employment, to look at life differently than we hoped they had before. And part of that in planning for the future is believing that they're going to be able to make it, that, you know, if they get an apartment or they find somebody they can live with, or wherever they're going to go, that they're going to have the means to be able to do that. So, we're always looking for resources to help our young people be able to set up their own place. So many of us take for granted just the little things, like you're moving into a new house and, you think of, you need a bed, you need a dining room set, you need a couch. Most people want to have a TV to be able to have some entertainment. But you don't think about, what about the dishes in the cabinet when you go to make dinner, or what about pots and pans to cook dinner? And how do you clean the apartment when it gets dirty? Is there a broom? Is there a mop? Is there cleaning supplies? Is there Windex to clean mirrors and windows? All those things that, typically as young people when we're growing up, our families provide. It's just there in the house. And, when mom or dad say it's time to do your chores, you go to the linen closet or the broom closet or the wherever you keep those things, a vacuum cleaner, and you pull it out and you do the chores. Well, these kids don't have the means to have all those things. So we're always looking for resources to be able to help do apartment setup kits, we call them, apartment starting kits, to give the kids a chance. So that's the biggest need I think we have at this point.
Mr. Perlaki, you were talking a little bit about these kits, these apartment kits. Could you go a little bit more in depth about how somebody may be able to go about donating for them, or how they can get in touch to provide some of these resources for you guys?
Sure. First of all, if somebody wanted to make a donation, they could call us at 1-810-233-8700. You can ask for me, Jim Perlaki, and I can have a conversation with you and direct you to the right location. But if you know what you want to do and you know where you want to go, you can go out and make purchases yourself and put together a kit of your own and drop it off at the agency, and we'll gladly accept your donation and make sure that it gets passed on to one of our young people. I'll tell you, one of the other, we live in a technologically savvy world, and
Right.
more recent, we've been getting a lot of donations from Amazon that are purchased on behalf of our young people and shipped directly to us. So that's always an option as well. That you can go shopping on Amazon, put a package of things together, and have it shipped directly to us. And you could do it anonymously, or you could do it with your name, a gift from. And we'll make sure that it gets acknowledged, and make sure that the items that are donated are passed on to the young people. So there's a lot of different options. Or you can donate cash, check, and we'll make the purchase of those items with those donations.
Great. Yeah. I mean, I think that's amazing, using technology to connect all of us and contribute as much as we can. That's a great idea. So, Mr. Perlaki, obviously your job is not that easy. So I think we just need to know, what motivates you to continue to do your work in the Youth Corps?
Seeing the lives of the young people changed. I go to work every day knowing that I'm making a difference. And I drive home after a day of service to our community, having heard the stories, having listened to the young people and the families, having seen some of the struggles that young people are going through get easier, that things aren't always perfect, and young people don't always make the right choices all the time or the best choice, but they're on a pathway towards changing their lives, and being able to see that happen, see the light bulb go off and a young person learn a new skill, or a family member in a counseling session actually turn to their kid and say, "I love you." We've had some kids, 12, 13, 14-year-olds who've never had a family member turn and say they love them. And just know that is happening. And it just changes lives, seeing smiles on faces, knowing that we're making a difference. That's what keeps me going.
So, Mr. Perlaki, how did you get involved with this work? How did you get involved with the Genesee County Youth Corporation?
Well, Ria, I got to caution you. You got to be careful. I started as a teenager myself. Much like you, I was involved in a youth ministry at my local church when I was in high school, and I was a peer mentor to other young people who came into the ministry and were struggling and needed help, and was part of a leadership team that served other young people. And when I graduated from high school, I said, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to work with youth. I want to make sure that youth are heard, that they have a voice, and that they have an opportunity for something different than some of the experiences that they've had early in life. So I went to college, got my degree in counseling, and I started in Runaway and homeless youth services 40 years ago, and I never left. I started at Genesee County about 7 years ago. I first started working in another community before that, and just made the transition to a new community and with a fresh start and a new set of eyes, and a great opportunity to help young people who are struggling.
Maybe one day I'll get to work there too.
I would love to have you on my staff.
Yeah.
I can definitely see you there.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to have youth connect with youth also. I think, we can learn a lot from each other. I think it'd be pretty cool. So, Mr. Perlaki, over your 40 years of this beautiful work that you're doing, what have you learned? Like, how has your perspective changed? And what values do you think your experiences could teach all of us?
That's a really great question. You are one wise young lady. Probably the thing that has impacted me the most, and what I've learned the most, is young people just need to be given a chance to blossom. Not everybody has the same opportunities as everybody else. That happens in adulthood as well. But oftentimes our young people, our teenagers, they are not treated with the same level of respect that I believe they should be. They're not given the same opportunities to grow and to serve and to give back to their community. I think if most adults saw the opportunities and the positive things that young people can provide, we could live in a whole different world than we do now. It's been delightful to have spent the last 40 years working with kids and listening to them and really truly listening, giving them a voice to be able to share their lives and share their stories and sometimes share their hurt and give them the resources to be able to make a difference in their own lives. Because ultimately, when it comes right down to it, I'm not doing anything. I'm just providing the resources for them to do the hard work. They have to change their lives. They have to make those decisions, those hard decisions about making an about face. And I'm just providing the assistance to make that happen.
You're doing more than you know, Mr. Perlaki. Don't say you're doing nothing. You're doing a whole lot of good work. So don't say it's nothing, because it's definitely something.
Yeah, but the kids are doing the hard work.
Yeah. But
I honor that work they do. It's tough.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough being a teenager. And it's tough being a parent of a teenager. So if we can figure out a way to provide opportunities for the connections to be made, how much better can our community be?
I think you're giving them a second chance, right? So that's amazing, Mr. Perlaki. All right. So all of these programs that your corporation provides, Mr. Perlaki, how have they been affected by COVID?
Well, COVID has come out of nowhere and it's impacted everybody. It's worldwide. I think that the single largest impact that it's had on our programs is fewer youth seeking shelter services because of fear of getting COVID. I mean, we've put all the precautions in place. We have all the sanitizers and the masks and the gloves and the distancing. And, we have 4 bedrooms with 8 beds. And we minimize the numbers that we take so that everybody had their own bedroom. So we went from 8 to 4 during the COVID days. At our Traverse Place program, we have 10 bedrooms and they're all single bedrooms. So we didn't have to lower our numbers there. But it has been a challenge for young people to feel comfortable about coming into a shelter environment and being nervous about catching COVID or being in close proximity with other people that they don't know. So our numbers have dropped a bit during this COVID period. So we're really in the process of rebuilding and recommunicating, particularly with the schools, because the schools are our number one referral source, because that's where young people are every day, and making sure that they know about us when they need us, and that we're still in business and that we're safe, and that they can still come to get the help that they need.
So seeing how hard you and your team have been working, even to surmount the challenges posed by the COVID pandemic, it just makes me want to get more involved. So how do we as a community and all of our listeners, how do we get more involved? What is your call to action for all of us?
Well, there's multiple opportunities for both young people and adults to get involved. I mean, your Touch of Life Foundation did a hygiene packet donation drive and donated hundreds of hygiene kits for our young people through all of our programs. And something like that is just tremendous. But, raising dollars to help support the work that we do. Our business for all 3 programs runs on a budget of just under $2 million. That's a lot of money. And we do get federal, state, and local government contracts, but we have to raise private dollars on the side to supplement those governmental resources. There's also volunteer opportunities from being board members to providing event support to working in the shelters. Unfortunately, we can't have minors working in the shelters because of confidentiality, but once you turn 18, there's volunteer opportunities to work in our programs and being a mentor. And then we're always looking for good staff. So if there's somebody out there who's in need of employment, who has a affinity to love on and to care for and mentor and provide advocacy for a young person, there's always opportunities for employment in all of our programs.
Wow, that's truly amazing. And Mr. Perlaki, I know in the beginning of the interview, you did give us a number to call. Would you mind giving that again and maybe your guys' website so that people who are listening and they're inspired to get involved can either jot this down or go visit your website?
I'd be glad to. Thank you so much. The phone number is 810-233-8700. And that's a local number in Flint. So if you're calling from a long distance, make sure you do the 810. And then our website is reach-traverseplace.org. And if you go to our website, you'll see our programs. There are resources there that you'll see ways of donating, ways of getting providing help and getting involved. And feel free to drop us a line through the Contact Us. And we'll be glad to reach out to you. And if anybody in the community would love to have a tour of our facilities, we're proud of the work that we're doing. We're proud of the facilities that we have. They're safe, they're clean, they're homes. They're just large homes that are converted into a shelter. And we would love to give tours so that people are aware of what we do and who we are and who we serve.
That's truly amazing. Mr. Perlaki, again, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to myself and Ria today. It's been a pleasure. The work you do, it's amazing. It takes special people like you who can give that endless support and the love that you just have in your heart that you can give back to your community. And from all of us at the Touch a Life Foundation, we do thank you. It's truly amazing.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening today. And remember, always be kind.